when your client is in such bad need of a haircut that they post it on their social media, shouting everybody out, being like, yo, I need to go see Tito, you know you need to bless them with a fire haircut, a crispy lineup, a clean blend. And that's what I'm gonna provide you guys today, is a simple, easy to follow system that you can apply to every single one of your clients if you wanna give them a clean, crispy taper. So let's not waste any time and get right into the tutorial, man. I appreciate you guys watching. You're gonna need to make sure that you comb the hair all the way out. The thing is, with this kind of hair, man, you need to make sure you comb it through so that way the curl can be released, right? The hair is sitting at its full natural state, so that way it's also prepared for the clipper. You know, we're gonna end up using right here the number 1 guard, and you guys saw my client has thinner areas on his head. Maybe the back is a little thinner, the hairline area is a little thinner. We need to trim this all to the point where it looks like it blends completely together. So using my number 1, closed, going with the grain, picking up at the thin spots. We're gonna pretty much work to blend all of this in, so that way by the end of the haircut, without using enhancements, it's not gonna look like he has any thinning areas. So we're gonna continue going with the grain. You'll notice I'm cutting in the same direction that I was combing because everything is according to the growth patterns. Y'all can see here, man, like you see his crown where the hair is shooting out from. That is exactly the direction that I'm going to be cutting. So if the hair is growing to the left, I'm cutting to the left. If it's growing forward, I'm cutting forward. If it's growing down, I'm going to cut it downwards. So continue. Every stroke counts, man. Make sure you catch these hairs. And depending on the clipper set that you're using too, you know, I'm using this Tune 45 collaboration with Babyliss, and this is also going to be linked in the tag products below. If you guys are in the market for a fire clipper, man, this thing, it cuts well. It's the most powerful one that Babyliss has released to date, and yeah, it also has the wireless charging included, man. So that's so dope. I'm going to go ahead and include that in the tag products below, but let's watch how this thing cuts. Now, like I said, guys, the purpose of this is to mask the thinner areas and make it look like it's all uniform at one length. So we are going to be pretty selective with what we're trimming. A very general rule of thumb is if the hair grows thick, you can cut it. If the hair grows thin, then you generally want to leave that alone. So we're really trying hard to kind of find a really nice balance here, and this is part of the value that you're going to be bringing your clientele that has these hair problems. This is the value that you're giving yourself in the marketplace, man. So it's really cool to be able to provide a customized, a tailored service like this. Because once they get a taste of your haircuts like this, you can make them look like this haircut transformation they will never want to see anybody else. So right now the hair is already laid down to the length that we want. Now you already know, if you guys have seen my other fading videos, then you know I like to start the fades with the clipper all the way closed, and it's a little different than what a lot of other people are going to teach you because you know, it is so true. You'll get a nice, precise, really tight bald line with the trimmer, but for me, I want you guys to cut efficiently, and I want it to be effortless. If you go in with the clip with the trimmer, it's going to be hard to fade that line out, and it'll come together here towards the end. You'll be able to see why. So here, guys, now your secondary guideline is going to be set also with the clipper, but with no guard this time. So, you know, this is your primary and your secondary guideline. You're setting the tone for how you want this haircut to look. This is where I want the primary blend to be. So that's how you go ahead and set that foundation. And now all we have to worry about is starting to fade. We already trimmed the whole top down, right? And we already set the primary, secondary guidelines. So now we're just gonna start working our way down. Now remember, we did the number one close going with the grain so that way we could trim everything nice and tight. So now it's gonna be pretty simple, guys. We're really just gonna have to play with the number one guard again, starting with like the lever open first, let all the hairs catch whatever they need to, and then follow up with the number one guard close. And you can see doing this, it's gonna take care of the majority of the blend. You're still gonna have to, you know, work on that very bottom, you know, primary, secondary blend. But for the most part, guys, it can be really simple if you're using the right hand motions, right? You want to have light pressure at the bottom, and when you float your way up and off the head with the number 1 guard, typically we'll go like debulk with the 4 and then use the 2 and then use the 1, but it's not necessary with this haircut since the top has already been trimmed so tight. So you can see here, man, you'll start with that number 1 guard with the lever open, trim all the hairs that you can using a nice floating motion, right? Pressure at the bottom, float your way up and off the head, and then follow up beneath that with the clipper closed using that same number 1 guard. And of course you can see here as well, since this is hair that will wave up, and he's actually right now brushing his hair to train the waves to come back in, you can also trim going down with the grain, just to make sure that everything is flowing together and everything is looking good. So now, guys, we're just gonna go ahead and get into the lineup. You could see how blurry this fade came together, and I feel like it came together pretty simply. Like, I don't like overcomplicating the fading process. I wanna give you a nice, simple system you can hit every single blend with. Now, just notice here, guys, how nicely the Tomb 45 trimmer is hitting. They both sell. We both released these at, what was it, back in February at EWP. We were able to go ahead and drop the clipper and the trimmer. And like I said, both of these, just like the clipper, have the wireless charging built in. And you can just see how these lines are smacking right now. But yeah, you just want to make sure that you are not pushing back the hairline, farther than is necessary. If you feel like enhancing the lineup at the same time that you're cutting it, you can even use some of the Tomb 45 Precision Pack pencil scribbled onto your glove and pick up a little bit of wax as you are punching in these lines, guys. So just keep that in mind, man. Crispy lines, you'll need a good trimmer. If you're in the market for something like this, it also will be tagged in the product section down below, along with the pencil as well. I mean, it's a killer combo, man, using these two. But they're gonna come pretty close too. Right now I do have them 0 gap to my preference. I used them for a while, straight out the box, and they were good, man. But depending on if you're light-handed or heavy-handed, you may want to 0 gap them a little bit more. But good news, it comes with the tool to do so. Drop a comment down below if you guys want me to drop a tutorial on how to set your blades the way that I have mine. Let me know. If you guys want it, I'll do it. This part right here, guys, is where the starting with the clipper closed all the way helps so much, because look at how easily the trimmer blends into that line now. You know what I mean? Like, if I would have started this line here with the trimmer, then it would have been a lot harder. It would have been punched in hard, just like the edge. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would have had to go with the grain, against the grain with the trimmer, with the grain, against the grain with the shaver, back and forth with the clipper. If I started with the clipper closed, the trimmer is gonna flow so nicely beneath that. So I just wanted to point that out, and you'll see it on the other side here in a minute. But when it comes to breaking down this lineup too, guys, instead of going all the way across, like picking one corner and then going all the way to the other corner, I find it so much easier to split this into 2 simpler jobs. Start in the middle and work your way to one side. Return to the middle and work your way to the other side. Breaking it up into 2 smaller jobs is so much easier to keep it balanced. I think you'll greatly appreciate that. I think your clients will appreciate it. You can stop giving those sloppy lineups. So here is just a moment of appreciation for how this lineup came out, man. I was super happy with these results, and I hope that you were happy with the plan that I gave you here in this video, man. If you think that this is something that's gonna help you be more efficient in the barbershop, please leave a comment down below. I wanna know if these methods make sense to you. You know, let me know. And then the other thing too is like being efficient in the barbershop and being able to fit more people in your schedule. It's gonna help you guys make a lot more money. But here's the thing though, do you know what to do with that money when it comes in? So you'll be able to get to open up your own barbershop one day, or to get the proper equipment to get into content creation, or, you know, how do you even get the clients in the door? I got space to get more people, but how do I get them even in the door? So all of these things is what we help you with in the Six Figure Barber Mentorship. So I have a link down below, and hop in there, man. Train with us, guys. I'll be one of your coaches, me, Basio, all 5 of our coaches, man. I'll catch you guys in there, man. I'm excited to work with you guys. Yep, I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.